Huh. Da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Good morning. What do you do when you're in a room full of men and they decide that they want to argue about Disney princesses?
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning, and as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that. I want to start with, first of all, today, happy birthday, Eden, my baby sister from my mom. And happy birthday, Mom. Yeah, rest in peace. We miss you. We love you. It's been 20 years since, 21 years. Coming up on 21 years that Mom's been gone. But Mom and Eden share a birthday, and that's today. And happy St. Patrick's Day. I love you, sis. Thank you so much. I do love that you sent me a representation of yourself so that, you could keep me company on the desk while I write. And I hope you have an absolutely wonderful birthday. And, yeah, I love you. Have a good birthday. Today is St. Patrick's Day. It's Monday, March 17th, 2025, and it is 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah. I want to start with thank you. I want to thank all of you for your kindness, your thoughtfulness, and your gifts. I got a lot of gifts this weekend. This last week. A lot. Thank you. And the timing of some of them, I was, as you know, I have my Amazon list, and I put things on there. I was encouraged a year ago to just put things on there because I make Amazon lists, and then as I save up money, I go and I buy the things that I need. And you guys have really enabled me to get a lot of things extra because I make my list, I go to buy things, and I find that they're not there anymore, and then they show up at my house. So I'm able to use my saved funds, and I go get more things on the list. So thank you. And whoever Clockworks is, thank you so much. The next thing that I wanted to be able to do to make it more comfortable and so I could feel like I look better in these videos is to not have a headset on. So I was saving it for these. I watch other videos. I watch other YouTubers and things that they have, these really nice earbuds. And they are nice, by the way. They're fabulous. But they're expensive. Thank you, Clockworks. And I went to go buy them, and they were gone. And I went, wasn't expecting anyone to buy those. Thank you. So I turned around, and I was able to get lighting, which I really, really wanted. Maybe you don't see the difference. Maybe you see me too clearly now and go, I don't know. But, that's... That's the way it's going to be. But I was able to get stuff for the whiteboards. Now I've got the pens. I've got the erasers. I've got the spray because it's an old board and it's technically not a whiteboard. And so I got to spray it every time that I wipe things down. And it's wonderful. So I got everything I need. Everything. In fact, I have one computer program that I'm going to buy later on this morning. I'm so excited, and it corrects. It's called Text Soap. It's been around forever for Mac, and I will literally have everything that I could possibly conceive to make any kind of project that I want. This is so awesome, and a lot of that is because of you guys. Thank you so much. Now, along with the thank you, I have to say I'm sorry. I have to say I'm sorry because, well, I started listening to other people too much. Not always a bad thing, but it depends on what you're listening to. And over the last, 6 months or so, I have been listening too much to people about business. And yes, Life of Fiction, it's my business. It's how I make a living. Everything connected to this that I'm doing with you. It's how I pay my bills. It's how I keep lights on. It's how I feed my kids. And I don't know. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to talk bad about other people. And there's really no reason to talk bad. I just don't want to put anyone in a different light. I don't know how to say it. Because they're doing them and I'm doing me, and I just realized this is not the route that I want to go. I want to be able to tell stories to as many people as possible. I want to make Life of Fiction as affordable as possible. You know that. That's just what I've always done. And I listened too much to the encouragement, and it was all intended well, by the way. There was no malice anywhere. There wasn't, anyone plotting or anything like that. It was business stuff. And I openly acknowledge I'm not good at business. I'm more of fulfillment. I like customers. I like clients. I like my readers. So you'll notice that the monthly subscription for Life of Fiction has dropped all the way back down to the original $7 a month. $7 a month and $77 a year. And the moment that I did that, I felt a world better. I know that it's going to take 10 times as many people to make a living doing this, but I think it's the right thing to do. I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. I want to make what we do as affordable as possible. And it's kind of the side thing that I'm thinking about is that I look at it, especially with what's being built with the hub and with the game and soon to be games and other books that are being made. I'd like people to eventually come here. They discover, whether you tell them about it or someone else in the community tells them about it, and they come to Life of Fiction, they see everything that's there, and I'm hoping that eventually we'll get to a point where people just say, all this is just $7 a month? And why would I not do that? That's what I'm going for. So, yeah, it'll take a lot more subscribers for this to work to pay the bills, but I think we'll get there. I really do. We'll get there. So, sorry about that. If anyone was feeling really optimistic of joining Life of Fiction and just the price tag was too high, I get it. It's solved. So, okay. Good morning. Morning coffee. I have some notes, always notes. I just want to go over one thing that was so incredibly bizarre. So Saturday, we did our role-playing game with my sons. Excuse me. We had our game and our homemade D&D game this last Saturday. We did it a week early. Normally it would be this weekend, and so we did it a week early. My son's going to be going on vacation with his family, and he wanted to get that in, and I was really excited. And we're playing. We're waiting on our last player, and we're talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't even know how this started. I know it was a conversation that Simon and I had a few months ago about Disney princesses, and him with his psychology. Oh my goodness. The whole room erupted into, if the Disney princesses all went to war to dominate the world, who would win? And it became a thing. It got really, really intense. Anyway, and after a while I was like, oh my gosh. So I take my phone and I put it on my lap, and I kind of turn it this way, and I look like I'm looking at the phone, and I pressed record so I could record just a little bit so you could just hear Simon for a minute. Just listen to this.
I think realistically, though, if we're talking about military might, and for this set in the setting of the times, in Tangled, okay, she inhabited what we believe is a country in France, okay, at the same time period that Elsa has Arendelle. Arendelle, which is a kingdom, is one castle and a village. Their military might displayed in the movie extends far. Okay, they had guys with swords and spears, and they had mercenaries there with crossbows. At that time, they already had France, England, and one other country were developing fleets of armored ships with cannons.
Their ships had cannons.
Gunpowder was.
We're sacrificing D&D for Disney princesses.
Gunpowder was already in like full swing use. People had muskets in all of their main militaries. So sure, Elsa could solo probably a massive army.
The ships they stood on in Frozen had cannons.
I'll shoot an ice orb.
Yeah, exactly. Any one of those ships probably could have taken out Arendelle by itself. Like one ship could have taken out.
Maybe, but that I would.
Joseph, what's your max hit points?
Could be in the harbor and bomb them.
Yes,
Well, cannon.
Cannon, yeah, exactly.
I think we're moving into gameplay now.
All right, yeah, time for D&D.
It's bugged me about this. There are parameters that we could never agree upon, like, okay, you say Disney princesses. Does that mean every princess that Disney deems or groups in their group of who they call a princess? Wouldn't that include, Belle? And she marries the prince there, the beast, who becomes, does he have an army? I don't know. She's usually not brought in on this. The one that I really get, and I'm bringing this up because last week I went to the World Building Expo with the Go Brunch, so with the hub, and I listened to, I don't remember his last name, but his first name is Daniel. I went to one of the presentations, and he's a alternate history author, award-winning, by the way, brilliant brilliant young man. And he was talking about the history, and I brought up this question, and we argued in front of everybody live about, he's like, oh, it would be Mulan. I'm like, no, Mulan is not a princess. She was a commoner that can't, no, that bugs me. I can't swallow that. You need to just do the princesses. But the parameter, if we can agree upon a single parameter, is it everyone that Disney deems as a princess? Now it's like, well, if that's the case, and it's everything that's Disney owned, this is what kind of killed it at the D&D party. Is I was like, well, then, if that's the case, then that would also include Princess Leia, and you all lose because she'd blow your butt to smithereens from space. And everyone disagreed. You can't bring in Princess Leia because she's not a princess. Well, neither is Mulan. So I had a challenge with that. So I actually did a little bit of research. I looked things up, and then heaven forbid, I actually asked AI. I had an excuse to actually ask AI. So here's the question that I posed, and I want to read to you the answer. And I debated with AI, which is dumb because now I'm arguing with the computer. Whatever. Okay. So what I initially asked, and then I'm just going to read what the final. I disagree with everybody. I think Mulan, not Mulan. I think Moana would win, actually. Okay, so my question was, if you were to pit every Disney princess against one another in a world war, each striving to conquer one another's kingdom according to resources, positioning, and circumstances, who would win? Okay, all right. So the reasoning was, let me move this over. Let's assume Disney princess, in quotes, includes everyone typically grouped under that banner, even if you hold titles like Queen, and it says, looking at you, Elsa, or come from overlooked films. Now, this one I did not, and has never been brought up in any conversation. That is it Kidda from Atlantis? Who knew that one? That came out of left field. If all of them mobilize for an all-out war of conquest, there are some particularly heavy hitters that would rise to the top. And remember what Simon just said, right? And he was talking about Elsa could take on. Yeah. Here's a concise breakdown of major factors and why, in the end, Elsa, yes, technically a queen, or Kidda would be the last one standing. So here we go. Major power players. 1. Elsa from Frozen. Advantages. Elemental powers over ice and snow. Effectively, an army of conquered ice constructs can lock down terrain, free ships at sea, create fortifications at will. Drawbacks. Depends on control and emotional stability. Although by the end of Frozen 2, she is much more self-assured. Okay, fine. Then Kidda, Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Advantages. Access to lost Atlantean technology and weapons that are centuries beyond typical medieval or even early 1900 tech. Intimate connection with the life-giving crystal can turn her into a major magical force. Whoa. Drawbacks. Atlantis is physically hidden and her forces might be limited in numbers, but they'd still be the most technologically advanced. Mulan. I don't agree. Okay, advantages. Backed by the entire Imperial Chinese Army, one of the largest, best organized historical forces, skilled in strategy, espionage, and hand-to-hand combat. I can't argue that. It was just the princess part. Drawbacks. Human armies are formidable, but going up against magic and futuristic tech is an uphill battle. Totally agree. Guess what? 4 was Mulan. Okay. Advantages. The favor of the ocean itself. Depending upon your reading, the sea all but obeys her will. She could isolate opponents by sea, flood coastlines, and has some synergy with powerful demigods. Maui, if we're letting alliances come into play. Drawbacks: she's strong on oceanic or coastal fronts, but less omnipotent on landlocked battlefields. True. Okay. Her personal kingdom is smaller. It's not as small as Elsa's. Jasmine: advantages: a wealthy, well-armed kingdom, Agrabah, presumably large cavalry, and a strategic desert stronghold that's hard to invade. Drawbacks: doesn't have direct magic at her disposal once Genie is out of the picture. Okay. Ariel: advantages: underwater kingdom with King Triton's trident if inherited or borrowed. Yeah, I didn't think of that one. Which can control oceans, storms, and transform mer people to human or vice versa. Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't think of that one at all. Powerful navy advantage. Few others can fight effectively underwater. True. Drawbacks: command of seas is huge, but a purely aquatic force has limitations once you move inland. Okay. Rhea. Wait, who's Rhea? I don't know. Okay, I don't remember. Who's Rhea? Advantages: skilled warrior plus a dragon ally, Sisu, if you factor that in. Kumadra's people and tribe show advantage, martial skills, and tactical ingenuity. Drawback: sheer firepower, might be outclassed by the likes of Elsa's frost magic or Kidda's technology. Okay, why Elsa or Kidda ultimately conquers. Elsa's magic supremacy. She can single-handedly manipulate climate and terrain on a scale large enough to immobilize entire armies, which was Simon's point. Even high-tech forces struggle when the environments itself are against them, and she can freeze up supply lines, oceans, or entire cities overnight. Or Kidda. Kidda's Atlantean technology and ancient magic. If she fully harnesses the crystal of Atlantis and her people's machinery, flying vehicles, energy beams, etc., she edges close to science fantasy dominance. It's basically a modern or futuristic army versus medieval and early industrial kingdoms. So between these two, the deciding factor is purely narrative. If Kidda uses the heart of the Atlantis to its full potential, she might neutralize Elsa's ice from a distance or shield Atlantis under high-tech defenses. On the other hand, Elsa can freeze the seas, even hamper Kidda's advanced war machines. It'd be an epic magical tech standoff. Most likely winner? Elsa, by a razor-thin margin, because she can project her power anywhere on the map, regardless of water routes or infiltration. In raw, unstoppable magical force, she edges out even Atlantean gadgetry, especially if she gets the first shot. Honorable mention. Honorable mention is Mulan. In a more historical matchup, no superpowers, no aliens, no alien tech, Mulan and the Imperial Army likely dominate everyone else on manpower and strategy alone. And once you throw in magical or high-tech power sets, though, she's overshadowed by the big guns. So, conclusion: in the Grand Princess War, either Elsa ices them all into submission, or Kidda upends medieval kingdoms with futuristic Atlantis. Barring a perfectly timed alliance to topple one or the other, it's Elsa's war to lose, and her ice palace likely becomes the seat of a new, very chilly empire. Ha ha ha. All right, well, yeah, whatever. That's just what's been bugging me all week long. Is there anything else? Well, I want to start going into the realm of telling you what I've done and not what I'm going to do. So that's it. No, that's all I've got. So, think about princesses. I still think it would be Mulan. I like Samoans. I married a Samoan. All right, yeah. Yeah, I'm biased. Whatever. Okay. That's all I got. All right. Have a good day. Have a good week. Remember, you are more than you think you are. Tell a friend. Tell a friend about Life of Fiction. Let's grow this community together. And I got fun stuff coming on the way. More soon. Have a great day.